Welcome back, one and all, to the Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky. I'm the TheDarkSeraph. Last time we beat the final boss. It sucked ass. I think they said the east block is where all the shops are. A history museum? How long has this been here? Where did Professor Alba go? That's a good question. Cool. Ancient Lantern, Preceptarian. Floor tile, might be Preceptarian. This looks more like a study for the professor. I don't think there's much of anything of interest here, or any of this kind of story importance. Hi, Philip. Hello again. Please forgive my lack of decorum. Though my actions yesterday have caused His Grace much trouble. On that subject, do you know where we might find the Duke? His Grace has sequestered himself to consider the claims made by the Queen. He is spending his days at the royal villa, isolated. Is he now? What brings you here? Well, I've been sent here on an errand to buy donuts for His Grace. I see. I get the feeling he's not being completely honest about that. He's here for his own... He needs to get away. He's here to get the fuck away from Prince Philip. From Duke Duan, whatever his damn name is. And there's the last edition. Come a long way. Yesterday at noon, a group comprised mostly of braziers and members of the Royal Guard stormed Grancel Castle after rescuing Her Majesty, who had been placed under house arrest by the Intelligence Division. The group suppressed the Special Operations Unit of that division, thereby liberating the Royal Castle. ID Commanding Officer Colonel Richard, as well as high-ranking officers involved, were placed under arrest and charged with attempting to incite a coup. In this issue, I intend to make full account of the hidden truth behind this string of events. I'm sure there are many of you out there who are dumbfounded by the headings printed in this issue. Up until now, this magazine was withheld publishing information concerning major events surrounding the occupation of the Royal Castle, placement of Her Majesty under house arrest, and other such circumstances of pertinence in the endeavor to uncover the Intelligence Division's dark conspiracy. The Liberal News sincerely apologizes for the abrupt coverage. In addition, asks that the readers understand our decision in this matter. The young founder of the Intelligence Division, behind his humble facade, these lurked a calculating schemer enacting and carefully planning a coup. Richard's plan, along through the Intelligence Division, as a personal recruitment tool to amass group senior military officers amid and corruption in illicit affairs. These actions allowed Richard to hold the heart of the Royal Army within the palm of his hand for a time at last. General Morgan and other such incompetent and incorruptible figures of importance, on the other hand, were forcibly bound, imprisoned, and otherwise restrained. The sum of soldiers in blue uniforms were the perfect imitative deception which to frame the Royal Guards. The goal of the incident itself was to secure certain test equipment and abduct Professor Russell, the leading specialist in orbment research, but the background surrounding this event is still under investigation. After gaining control of a large majority of the army, Richard finally set his coup plan into motion. Placing Her Majesty's nephew, Duke Duan, on the throne in her stead, Richard assumed control of the royal family from the shadows. His plan to pressure to press Her Majesty to abdicate the throne by taking Her Highness Princess Claudia hostage. But the Royal Guard, led by First Lieutenant Schwarz, saw right through the machinations. A fierce battle ensued between the Special Ops Unit and the Royal Guard over Her Highness. The Princess, however, being outnumbered, the Royal Guard's stand ended in defeat, and Princess Claudia was taken captive. Following the incident, members of the Royal Guard were branded as terrorists, and the unit was driven underground. With nothing standing in Richard's way, the success of his coup was only a matter of time. Amidst the chaos, an unheralded ray of light shone down upon the scene. A certain few individuals infiltrated the castle and slipped past the security of the Special Ops Unit. Moreover, they succeeded in meeting with Her Majesty the Queen, who was under house arrest at the time. I have refrained from writing these individual names in deference to the Bracer Guild's request, but suffice it to say, the Guild itself, which had been in the dark due to the regulations sanctioned by the Division, was for the first time able to grasp the direness of the situation, thanks to the information acquired by those nameless heroes. After being appraised of the chain of events, the Bracer Guild would become a central force of opposition to the Intelligence Division. I can fucking English. Yeah. The Bracer Guild's rendezvous... Almost read that as rendezvous. Redivoued. Yeah, it is rendezvous. The Bracer Guild rendezvoused with the estranged Royal Guard and set about liberating the Royal Villa through a joint operation carried out under the veil of night. And beginning with Her Highness Princess Claudia, succeeded in rescuing hostages. Then yesterday, using the tolling noon bell of the Grancel Cathedral as a cue, the rescue team, primarily made up of bracers and members of the Royal Guard, pressed forward with a plan to storm the castle in a three-pronged attack from the air, land, and underground. As Rangers of the Royal Army under the command of the Intelligence Division fell upon the liberating group, a deadly battle with the Special Ops Unit erupted within the halls of Grancel Castle, and even spread to the lower levels. The struggle finally came to an end with the safe rescue of Her Majesty Queen Alicia. At roughly the same time, a unit of the Royal Army that had come within sight of the castle ceased its advance after being pursued to lay down arms by General Morgan, who had escaped from captivity and rushed to the royal city. The coup plan, which had been crafted by Richard and the Intelligence Division, had been without a doubt thwarted at a narrow brink of no return. I can fucking read, and I can fucking talk. As is evident from the information presented in this article, the ambitions of the Intelligence Division were not shattered by the strength of a lone hero, but by the combined courage of a host of unnamed individuals who in the end wielded the strength necessary to bring down the curtains of this entire scheme. It has also been rumored that a number of civilians stood shoulder to shoulder with the ranks of the Royal Guard and bracers in this endeavor. During the final struggle, the forces gathered together on the Liberator's side were, in fact, put in a situation which many would agree as insufficient terms of strength to combat a foe. However, it was the courage of these civilians that compensated for the deficiency. As a reporter caught up in the mix, I was also one of the individuals who found themselves being borne up in this incredible energy. Along with those who gave me the strength to carry on were two junior bracers in particular, to whom I owe a special debt of gratitude, for without them, penning these articles would have been an impossibility. As we come to the end of these tumultuous events, I am once again overcome with feelings of reverence and thankfulness. The two individuals of whom I have spoken with are scheduled to be awarded their long-awaited status by the Bracer Guild at any moment. Please forgive my use of the following space for a personal message in consideration of the heroes who saved the kingdom. My heartiest congratulations to the both of you. And if you're ever in the mood for curry, it's on me. N. I'm going to take you up on that, Niall. The Royal Guard, which had been branded as terrorists and forced underground, has had its honor restored. The Army Strategic Operations Headquarters also dedicated today that the Royal Guard shall be officially reinstated, and is expected that First Lieutenant Schwarz and all of her fellow officers will be returning to their former unit. The coup was carried out by a division of the military that should be severed that should have served as a protective shield to the public. The Royal Army itself, unable to forestall this serious incident, despite the threat it posed to the nation, will refocus its prime objective on restructuring and reorganizing in order to prevent such future tragedies. To head that movement, the Royal Assembly has already proposed the leadership awarded to General Morgan. The Royal Army has shown signs that it will comply with these demands, and General Morgan is expected to accede to the office of Commanding Strategic Operations. In addition, it will be announced that the former Colonel Cassius Bright, who acted as the general's right-hand man during the 100 Days War, will be making a return, this time as an adjunct to the commander. The former colonel had, after the war, resigned from his post and transferred his considerable talents to the Bracer Guild. Yesterday afternoon, numerous reports came in from all over the kingdom in witness to a mysterious light. It had been said that a beam of light shone atop of the tetracycle towers. We are presently awaiting an investigation into the matter with no further details known at this time. That's going to be the drama of the next game. I just fucking know it. Up, I see my favorite racer! Hi, Annalise. Why so serious? It's just, this is the first time I've had a chance to work with you like this. But you two do a really nice job of covering one another, if you know what I mean. Well, we're around each other all the time, so we've gotten pretty used to each other's styles. Hello? Anybody home up there? Read between the lines, you doofus. Guess I just gotta come out and say it. I think you two make a very cute couple. What? Don't be embarrassed. It's plain to see with the way you look at each other. I'm jealous. I mean, I'd kill for a cute boyfriend like him. Something wrong, ladies? I love Annalise. But she does like Joshua. She does have feelings for Joshua. Yeah, Agate's got a soft spot for Tita. It's clear that he cares quite a lot about her. Hello, Blockhead. Yay, it's Estelle and Joshua. You know, Niall was telling me something interesting. He said that today's story was going to win the Pulitzer Prize. I think that's supposed to be like a Pulitzer Prize, I think it's called. Shh, you want to get sued? The Pulitzer Prize is an annual award presented to the very best examples of journalism, literature, and music. Yeah, it's reference to the Pulitzer Prize. They can't actually say it, though. And they made a joke about copyright. That's pretty great. Joshua, Estelle, great job. Our special coup edition has been flying off the stands. There is a ton of buzz right about your little stunt. Sorry I couldn't get you guys some fame for it. The guild made me withhold your names. Biggest scoop of my career, you guys. You did good. There's Agate and Zen. Why don't you try to get in next year, Agate? Maybe. It might be nice, but it's such a circus, and I don't know. And I don't like doing tricks. Well, whatever floats your boat. Hey, you two. Back to the Republic? I'm in no rush. There doesn't seem to be any crisis in the Republic so bad that I absolutely have to be there. Besides, this country is full of fine opponents from your Bracer Guild. As long as I'm here, it would be a waste of time without testing my mettle. The so-called Heavy Blade, the Silver Streak Silverzard, Charizard, and who could forget the champions of this year's martial arts competition. Perhaps the strongest of them all. Dan, that's so sweet. But don't think it means I'll go any easier on you. And don't you hold back on us. It's on, man. She doesn't speak for both of us. Feel free to hold back if you like. In fact, I might even prefer it. And there's the other two bracers. Yeah, I don't really know what all I'm supposed to be doing. General Morgan, it's been a long time. Heard you saved my granddaughter out at the Astray Royal Villa. We only did what was needed. That's the life of the bracer. Stop with the humbleness already. You're much too young for that. In the end, you saved not just the villa, but Her Majesty and indeed the kingdom itself. This time, I'm going to thank you properly. General, you two did well. Very well. I've got to say, I've heard much more heartfelt thank yous in my time. But not from you, General. So, thanks for the thanks. These are just guest quarters. Primrose. Why am I going through the guest quarters? No one's here. I guess maybe go try the lounge. There's Olivier. Olivier! Estelle, Joshua. I heard from Cassius that you've become full-class bracers. Well done, well done. Congratulations, my dear little pussycats. Could you just say, we'll just go with thanks. What brings you here, Olivier? I heard you were invited to tonight's banquet, but, well, I didn't think you'd already be here. Seriously. What's a guy who loves parties doing drinking alone in a quiet place like this? Better be careful or some people might think you're an imposter. The news of you two becoming full-fledged bracers filled my heart almost to bursting. So much that I saw no recourse but to hold an impromptu concert in front of the Grand Arena. Makes me think of your performance at Hacken Gate. Indeed. Oh, there we go. When we were dressed up as maids in the castle, you were all sulky and pouty. I said I'd buy you an ice cream. You remember the most trivial things. As I also recall, I also made you a promise in the rest area. I guess you did. Why don't we wait for the day to settle down a bit first? Not much of a point to stay in here then. There she is. Stella, Joshua. Hi, Chloe. There you are. Yeah, I've heard that Jill and the Hans were here, so I snuck out of the castle to come see them. You sure do know how to act unprincessy. Of course, and I wanted to thank you. You've been nothing but helpful at every turn. Us? Nah. It's totally all you. We've learned a whole bunch just from being around you. You've taught us about kindness, courtesy, strength, and spirit, and all kinds of other junk. Not that it's actually junk. I'm so bad at this. What I'm trying to say is, that's what friends do. So believe me, no thanks are necessary. Long time no see. I think that's everyone. I talked with the professor and his granddaughter. I talked with Julia. I talked with the girls, Annalise, Karna, Shara, Kurt, whatever the other, Kurt, Grant, Agate, Zen, even Cassius, and now, damn, I think that was everyone. I'm just checking the other rooms, make sure I didn't miss anyone. Here we go. Fucking lost his shit. Shush. I'm done with this shit. Walking all over the place can really take it out of you. Of course, I really think it should be his responsibility to begin with, since he showed up so late. Yeah, I suppose so. Maybe it's part of his nature. Oh well, it's not like we can do anything about it. Shh. But check this out. We're actually full bracers now. Which means we're not beholden to any specific branch, and we can just go wherever. Anytime a branch is short-handed and he requests help, we'll just take an airliner to get there. But our newfound freedom will also mean greater responsibility. Sure, but I think we'll be able to handle it. I mean, hey, we actually played a part in stopping a coup. And it means I'll never have to hear Dad going on about how it worries him when we are not around to keep an eye on me. Yeah, I think his days of saying that are at an end. You really showed him what you can do. Still, I think I'd like to stay with you from now on. Huh? Would I just get on your nerves? No, nothing like that. But what do you mean by stay with me? Just that. Just that we know each other so well. And we can practically read each other's minds. I think we make a good team, and I'd hate to break it up. Oh, you mean like for bracer business? And here I was thinking you were just going to tell me your big confession or something. Ah, nothing. Forget I said anything. Still, what was that all? Boy, it sure is hot today, huh? There's nothing to beat hot weather like ice cream. My treat, just like I promised, so wait here. Oh. I don't think there's an ice cream stand that way. Wonder if she... Nah, there's no way. My, but do I envy your youth. Hello, Professor. Professor Alba. It's been a long time since we last met. So much has happened lately, but things are finally settling down again. People truly thrive the most in peaceful times. Oh, something the matter? You look a bit pale. I would have thought you'd generally be in better spirits now that you've attained your senior bracer status. Speaking of which, I truly must congratulate you on your success. So long as, of course, I'm not being too forward in doing so. Ever since we first met, you've always made me really uncomfortable. I'm a little more used to you now, but I still get the shakes a little bit whenever you look at me. Oh. And in all the cases we've dealt with, there have been people who just forget things. You're always there, investigating no matter where we've gone. Your timing's almost a little too good. What really clued me in was Kurt's reaction. He lost his memories too. He said he wasn't feeling so well when he was in the stands, and you were right there with him. Professor Alba. Was it you? Impressive. Even with your cognizance and recollection being puppeteered, you were still able to piece it together. Indeed, it was I. Allow me to clear away your confusion. What was that? So you finally remember me, do you? When your heart was in tatters, it was I who rebuilt it. I who restored it. It was I who poured a soul black into that empty vessel. You have the power to twist the minds and memories of men. The 7 snake apostles. The Anguish, you're one of them. Weisman, the Faceless. I have not heard that name pass your lips in ages. Enforcer number 13. The Black Fang, Joshua Astray. You are behind all of this, which means that Lieutenant Lawrence has to be. It is as you summarize. I was kind enough not to erase your memories of him. I'm not surprised you were able to make the connection so quickly. I'm sure he'd be pleased to know you were thinking of him. So you're here to finish me off? Nothing of the sort. The first phase of our plan went off without a hitch. Since I have a moment to spare, I simply thought I'd come to see you. The seal in the old ruins. The gate which blocks the path to the ring. Wrenching it open but the first step of many. And already there exists no means of closing it again. I knew this wouldn't be the end of it. What the hell is the Shining Ring? And what is your little society after? If you really wish to know, why don't you rejoin? I'm certain that you'd be able to return to active duty in no time. You needn't look so glum. We can get you right back into fighting form. Please spare me your withering looks. I do understand that you have a family now, for whom you regard as important. You greatly admire your father, to say nothing of the girl you adore. Even with him on your side, throwing these gifts away would be the actions of an idiot. So I've come here to see you. I've come to offer you true freedom from our association as thanks for the integral role you perfectly played. Which means that I must congratulate you, Joshua. You are already a free man. I am most grateful for the work that you've done these past 5 years. What? Don't be so boring. I was expecting a bit more cheer out of you out of hearing such news. Perhaps there's a flaw in the design of your emotions. I've been helping you? What kind of bullshit are you expecting me to swallow? Pardon me, I completely forgot to tell you. I never intended you to be an assassin, but rather a spy. The society abandoned you. We played on the pities of the noble-hearted man, and it worked. You were given a loving home. And while you were there, our contacts would check in on you from time to time, and you tell them everything. We were practically interested in your reports on the movements to the Bracer Guild, as well as your intel on one Cassius Bright. But of course, you wouldn't remember having done such things. You were not yourself at the time. Cassius Bright, S-rank Bracer. He was the foremost impediment to success of this plan. We felt certain he would be quick to act in order to stop any coup that would occur. But through a detailed analysis of his behavioral patterns, we finally devised a plan that would lead him out of the country and out of our way. The intel you've unknowingly been feeding us has been most useful indeed. No. And so, I must thank you again. The past 5 years have been an immeasurable help. You're lying. You have to be lying. All that time I spent with Estelle. Why so sad? Has your feigned ignorance not earned you a beloved family as well as a happy home? If you say nothing, they will never know. However, it is the sort of thing that they might weigh heavily on a fellow, since your fellow members of the Bright household are such good people. Perhaps a little too good for a monster such as yourself. However much you may model your behavior after a normal, decent person, you are no such thing. You must surely have noticed your ability to reason through and execute a solution to a problem no matter the circumstance. Your physical strength and reflex is better than an entire squadron of normal soldiers. You are my greatest creation, my human weapon. That is who and what you truly are, the Black Fang. You have no place in the lives of normal people. You'll never be happy in their presence again. You can't be. When it becomes too much for you, you always have a welcome to return to the Grand Master Society of Souls, back to Ouroboros. Is this my punishment? My sister? And Louve? What do I do? I don't know how to face him after all that, but I've kept him waiting way too long. It's getting late, too. I'm such an idiot. I need to learn to think before I open my mouth. I wonder if Joshua's figured me out. Gotta cool down. I feel like I'm stuck in perma-blush mode. Ah, Estelle. I thought I might find you around here. Oh, hi, Professor Alba. Fancy seeing you here. Indeed. I was actually just speaking with Joshua. Congratulations on your promotion to Senior Bracer. Thanks. Something wrong? I don't know. Something just seems different about you. What's got you looking so cheerful? You got me. To tell the truth, I've made several major advances in my archaeological research. You might say it's put me in a good mood. Awesome. Sorry. The ice cream's gonna melt. I gotta get going. See you later. Cassius Bright's daughter. I think she's going to be quite a lot of fun. Sorry it took so long. It was super crowded there, but I've returned with such a valuable loot. Thanks. Now we can eat like kings. Yeah, so about earlier. Yeah, I want to apologize for that. I didn't mean to be so vague. It just wasn't an appropriate time for confessions, you know. Sure. I didn't really mind so much. Well, when I gave it some more thought, it seemed kind of silly to try and rush things. We may be senior bracers now, but that just means we have different work to focus on. We might have to fully consider our future prospects. We get married, we'll have to think about raising children. Gotta stop getting ahead of myself. Well, it's evening already, so why don't we eat our ice cream on the way back? Everybody's probably waiting for us. Joshua, what is it? Did you have something you wanted to discuss about the future? No. What would give you that idea? Come on, let's get back to the castle. What's wrong, Estelle? You've been completely on edge for a while now. Something on your mind? Yeah. Shara? Do you think Joshua was acting weird at dinner? If anyone was acting weird, I'd say it was you. He was calm as ever. Yeah, but... I get it. Get what? You can't keep secrets from me. I had a feeling about it, but I was wondering if you'd ever admit it to yourself. You're falling for Joshua, aren't you? You can tell. It's pretty obvious, hon. But I'm guessing you haven't told him anything about this. No. Joshua's always picking on me. Telling me what a dope I am. Not that I should be criticizing anyone. You're so naive. It's a wonder you've lasted this long. You need to learn to look a little deeper. Big sister is ready to begin your education in love, Estelle. I am never asking you for advice again. Just kidding. I'm sorry. I don't mean to tease. But you guys set out just when puberty was about to hit. It's only logical that you'd start picking up on feelings for each other. You think so? Traveling together just seems like such a petty reason for that kind of thing. I guess I've gotten a little more self-aware since we started all this. This isn't like me at all. You're the proverbial flower that refuses to blossom. Every girl feels that way. I don't want to lecture you or talk about this with you if you're not ready. But if you are, then say we have ourselves some girl talk. You gonna tell him? Not about that. There really does seem to be something weird going on with him. I want to see what that's about first. Young love. They'll probably be fine. They're not in here. Oh yeah, Dad's still in the meeting, I think. But where's Joshua? He's out playing somewhere then. I'm gonna guess on the rooftop. Hey Estelle. Nice night, isn't it? Yeah. There's that song again. The Whereabouts of Light. I've lost a lot of... But this song and this harmonica have always been with me. I've been thinking about why I play it. Maybe it's a habit and I should quit. I think I want to tell you what I was doing before I met you. Joshua. Okay. This may take a while, do you mind? Not at all. Thank you. Once upon a time, there lived a little boy all by himself. He was sort of the timid sort, relying on the kindness of others without a single redeeming trait. But he had people he cared about with him, so he was happy. But one day, something happened that broke his heart. He forgot how to speak, to feel, even to eat. All he could do was play the harmonica. No matter how hard his caretaker tried, nothing helped his heart to mend, and he grew weaker by the day. One day, a wandering magician appeared before the boy. I will heal the boy's heart for you, he said, provided, of course, I am compensated. And so the boy was given over into the magician's care. As he attempted to piece the broken heart back together, the magician found that he could shape the boy's existence into anything. And so the boy's new heart became that of a murderer. For 2 years, the boy killed every single day. Under cover of night, he would murder dozens of soldiers. He slit the throat of a national cabinet minister who was under heavy guard. Sometimes he used explosives, which means he killed innocent bystanders. At some point, he became regarded as something more than a mere killer. He was known as the Black Fang, and the name struck fear into the hearts of men. One day, the magician gave the boy an assassination order. His target was a hero, a man who had protected his queen and nation from the threat of an invading northern country. He was a bracer who held a special rank shared only by 3 others in the entire land. But the target was too strong. He defeated the boy with ease, a tiger swatting at a playful cub. At that moment, some of the magician's servants showed up. Since the boy's face had been seen, he was now a loose end to be tied up. But someone came to his aid and drove the attackers away. It was of course the man he had come to kill, and so the boy was taken to the man's house where he met a young girl. He lived there for 5 years, always feeling like he was lost in some wonderful dream. In the real world, he would never be allowed to have such dreams. But all dreams must end at some point. The time was drawing near when reality could be avoided no longer. And that's the end of my story. Thank you for being patient with me and listening. Was that real? Every word. My heart is broken. My hands will always be stained with blood. I failed in the assassination of your father. I've been betraying you for a long time. The boy can't be saved from his real purpose. His presence alone seems to bring disaster and misery. He's just tainted. But the boy must set out on a journey, in hopes that he may keep his misfortunes from the ones he holds dear. He will find and stop the foul magician who created the life he has led. That's the last remnant of my human heart. I won't be needing it anymore. But I want you to take it. It's hardly an adequate way to thank you for the last 5 years, and yet I can't think of anything better. Stop it. I said stop it. Stop talking about it like it was a dream. You make it sound like nothing that's happened with you was real. What difference does the past make? Your heart is broken? What does that even mean, Estelle? Look at me. Look into my eyes. They've always seen that boy, in good times and bad. No matter how much the boy was hurting, I always saw how hard he'd keep holding on. Joshua, I love you. You can't just leave me on my own. My feelings won't just go away. I won't let you, Estelle. What was that? It was so bitter. It's just a fast-acting sedative. Don't worry. There are no bad side effects. Oh. Why? Why did you... My Estelle, you shine like the sun. My time with you has been the happiest and the most painful I've known. Just as the brightest light casts the darkest shadow, if you stayed with me, you'd find out just how disgusting my true nature is. Sometimes I think it would have been better if we'd never met. No. But this time is different. I'm grateful that you came to see me. I hate that I have to run from a girl who's so important to me, but it's all I can do. But I want you to know that I'll always be thinking of you. Joshua, thank you for everything. You had me from the first moment I met you. I've always loved you. Goodbye, Estelle. Well, that is certainly an ending. That is not what I was expecting. I don't even know where to go with this. I don't even know what to say to that ending. My thoughts on the game, I like it. I think it's great. Final boss sucked ass, but I think the rest of it's a great game. It's a truly great, it's a fantastic game. Play it. I mean, I knew Joshua was a part of Ouroboros, but I didn't think he had joined until after the events of the first game. He wasn't a child assassin. So just what is he gonna do in the next game? If I have to make a guess, he'd be going after Alba. He'd be going after Weissman, his name. He'd be going after the Anguis of Ouroboros who twisted him. All I can say is the final boss sucked ass. That's my one complaint with the game. It dragged out a little too long in the final chapter and the final boss sucked ass. But overall, fantastic game. Fucking wonderful. Go play it. I don't know what to make of that ending. It's not a bad ending. I just don't know what to make of it. I don't know. That is insanely heavy. That's a little ridiculous. This game's rated T for teen, by the way. That's pushing the envelope. I respect that. I respect that it's pushing the envelope. It's pushing the edge. It is really putting that age rating at its limit. yeah, that's the game. I've always loved you.